The new Tesla holiday update is here, and with it comes a ton of new features, like the long-awaited Apple Watch Tesla app, the ability to watch and download dashcam/Sentry clips directly from your phone, cross-traffic alerts, and more, but also a laundry list of hidden changes that you're going to want to know. Now, this time around, the Tesla holiday update is a little weird because what version you get depends on what hardware your car has, as FSD 13 is being bundled in with the holiday update if you have a hardware 4 vehicle. I've already made an entire video on FSD 13 in action, and as someone that's not like a craze fanatic about full self-driving, I'm not gonna lie, it's actually kind of mind-blowing. But yeah, as long as you're on 2024.44.25 and up, then you should have the holiday update. First up is gonna be start FSD from park. You do, of course, need to be in the driver's seat, seatbelt buckled, and the cabin camera can't be obstructed. You also need to have a destination in, and you also need to have it actually enabled. So if we head on in to our autopilot settings, you can see right here, you do need to toggle it on, start FSD from park, and you can turn off brake confirmation, which I personally use. I like that all I got to do is just press and hold and then it starts. I don't need to put my foot on the brake. Next up is the Apple Watch app, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a Tesla app, but for your Apple Watch to a certain extent. Also, they've introduced phone key for your Apple Watch, or what they're calling watch key, which I actually need to set mine up. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. Set up watch key, pairing. I don't think I even have to, I didn't even have to do anything. I didn't even have to go into the settings. And now that it's paired, I can access a bunch of basic but super useful controls. I can flash the lights, honk the horn, open the trunk, open the front trunk, turn on the HVAC, lock the car. But, and in my opinion, more importantly, you have a phone key now on your wrist that's like an actual key. It's not signing into your Tesla account and using the internet to control the car. Like a lot of the apps you'll find on the App Store do that cost upwards of like $100, $150. Some of them even have a subscription service. Next up is going to be the mobile app dashcam viewer. I've already actually used this a few times. I saw an accident happen where a semi merged into like the left lane without looking and a car smashed into the barrier. I actually don't know if it hit the barrier or not. I'll have it playing right now, but yeah, I was able to view that when I got into the office just on the toilet, you know? So I think this is really, really nice, because what a lot of people would do is that they would keep a like USB to USB-C adapter in their car to where in case something happened and they needed the clip like immediately to be able to give to someone or to like law enforcement, they could plug it into their phone, take the USB stick out of the glove box and then put it into the adapter and then upload it to the phone and then send it off. But now you can just do it straight from the phone. You don't need anything else. I think this is a very, very nice feature. And of course, just like live streaming the cameras, you do need to have this enabled, and it also requires premium connectivity. Auto shift for the new Model 3, as I believe the S and X have had this for a while, so I don't think this is going to be new for them, but it is new for us, or if you have a new Model 3. And it's exactly what it sounds like. When you're backing out of a parking spot, say you're backing out this way, you want to go this way, it'll tell you to put your foot on the brake and then to turn the wheel that way, the way that you want to go. It states that it can go into drive and reverse and shift out of park. The one thing that I have found that it doesn't do though is because I back in everywhere. If you don't know, you should just back in everywhere with these cars simply because you'll just never curb your wheels. I've talked about it in past videos. But whenever I'm pulling up to a parking spot, you know how you'll pull up and you'll go this way and then you'll back in. It never sees that I want to go into reverse. So I still got to manually put it into reverse. So I'm actually not using this a lot just because it doesn't work for me. I don't know if it's supposed to do that. It works when I'm backing out of a parking spot, but not when I've backed into a parking spot or I want to back into a parking spot. Speaking of new Model 3 test stuff, we finally have our floor mats back in stock for the new Model 3. Though, to be honest with you, they're probably going to be sold out again within the next like week. So if you want them, I'll have them linked down below along with a bunch of other stuff like our screen protectors, organizers, sunshades, everything you need for your new Model 3. And don't forget, you can use code YouTube, all caps, for 10% off your entire order. SiriusXM is also new, and that just means it's something else that I'm gonna want to hide. If you don't know how to hide sources, because I doubt you actually use all the sources that Tesla has available for you, go over here to your music card, click on the options, and then go down to sources, and you'll see right here, SiriusXM, turn it off, and now it is gone from the app drawer. So it just keeps things less cluttered. Next is the ability to set your preferred arrival SOC, which is something I've been waiting for, or at least waiting for the ability to do it within the car like natively. As if you've road tripped these cars, then you know that they tend to want to arrive with like 20%, if not more. And the fastest way to road trip is more stops, charging at the lower end of your battery, not really going up above 60, 70%, unless you absolutely have to, if there's like a big stretch with no superchargers. So this is really nice. Search along route has also been added, which I think is fantastic. We've all been in that situation where we're going somewhere and we want to stop somewhere specific. So then we got to like look it up, see which one is closest to like what road we're on. This just takes out all the heavy lifting and kind of just does it for you. Now, something that was not on my Tesla bingo card for the year is them adding precipitation maps directly to the screen. I know that they added the weather, which, you know, made sense. I was not expecting them to add a almost radar-like effect where you can see the cloud coverage coming in either at your current location or your arrival destination. Next up is rear cross traffic alert, which is something that people have wanted for a long time, and well, Tesla's finally delivering it. Kind of like how we used to not have the blind spot indicators. Tesla eventually just kind of added it. And just like those blind spot indicators that will light up red to alert you to traffic, the rear cross traffic alert when you're in reverse will now light up red either on the left or the right to tell you where potentially a vehicle is coming from, or even pedestrians. We got 2 new light shows, Cyber Symphony and Ready for Assault. You can schedule these, so if you like want to have multiple cars do it at the same time, or you can also start it from your phone, which I think is even better. We have a new game for your kids to play, or if you just like playing games yourself on your Tesla screen, along with some theater and video updates for the rear screen. You can actually now control the media, or if there's like a theater playing on the rear screen from the front screen. And you can also start playing something via the browser, and then when you go into drive, it will remain playing through the like audio system. Seat control, which I love so much. I've already used it like 3 or 4 times. But it's exactly what it sounds like. There's a new seat setting in here. You come in here. I actually probably don't want to move that. I don't want to knock my camera over. But yeah, you can fully control the seat right here. If the car is in motion, you can't do it, which I think kind of sucks. And if there's someone in the seat, which makes a little bit more sense. But I hope that they update it to where you can control it even if the car is in drive. Tesla continues to put third-party apps out of business, as now there is a maintenance summary. I actually have a third-party app that was not only allowing me to control the car via my watch, but also keep track of all my maintenance stuff. And now Tesla has added a maintenance summary. Heading on into the service menu and then maintenance, you can tell the car when you last did these maintenance things, and it'll remember it even through software like resets. So if you like reset the car and sell it, the next owner will be able to come in here and see when you last did these maintenance things. There's also minor updates like the ability to navigate to nearby parking. So if you put in a destination, instead of going to that destination, you can navigate to parking that's nearby. The car will send you a notification to your mobile app if someone attempts to open the door or the trunk while Sentry mode is active. Keep in mind, it still will not send you a notification if just Sentry mode itself goes off, like someone's walking by. It still won't send you a notification. I mean, you can view it now with the option to view Sentry clips on your phone, but it won't send you a notification. The Energy app's consumption page has been updated to now let you view energy usage over the last 200 miles. Rainbow Road now affects accent lighting if you're in a new 3 and presumably Cybertruck. If you're navigating to a supercharger, when you get there, the car will notify you if any of the stalls are out of order. There is now a new setting within the controls, safety, and then lower volume in reverse, which does exactly what it sounds like. When you go into reverse, it essentially almost mutes the volume. Like it gets really quiet, which I actually really like, because typically when you go in reverse, you're trying to be more aware of your surroundings because, well, you're backing the car up, and just other minor fixes. But now getting into the hidden features, and we're starting off with a very important one, as Tesla has updated the emissions app with a new fart on contact option. So now if someone sits in a seat, it will fart, and it will actually fart in that direction. It is now turned off after every drive. Also, there's been some rumor swirling around, because now if you say hi, the car will respond to you and say hello. Now, this could just be a super basic, like they just programmed this in. However, some people are speculating that this could be the start of like a Tesla voice assistant that will do a lot more than what it currently does. You now have an equalizer reset button. So if you go into your music options and then to tone, instead of like manually trying to like change all these back, you can now just push this And I probably shouldn't have done that because I don't remember. Well, hang on. I'm recording with this cam. I'll just look back and see what it was. Service mode has a bunch of new updates with larger visualizations, such as like the airbags and the seat menus, along with Intel chip cars getting visualizations that were previously exclusive to AMD cars. Speaking of Intel chip cars, people are now reporting that their cars just feel a lot smoother, especially on more demanding things like the theater. And also, an update that was done in the theater, if you've ever used a theater and you want to like change your HVAC or something, you got to exit out now, you can just tap the black bar at the top. It'll bring up the options right down here and you can adjust without ever having to actually close the theater. Now, we already discussed the new seats option here, but you may have noticed that they have rearranged some of these menus. Navigation is now more down toward the bottom. Software has been moved up a bunch. They're just moving things that I think that they believe people use the most toward the top. Next up, if you have a custom lock sound, you can now access it right here from the locks menu. You used to have to manually go into the toy box and then boom box, and then there you could mess with it or change it. Now right here, you can just tap and it'll take you right into the boom box and it'll even show you what you have. Mine's the USB, so it just says USB. I used to have it as the clown horn, but to be honest with you, it drew way more attention than I thought it was going to, and it just kept drawing attention. Like anytime someone was remotely close to the car and that clown horn would go off, it would break necks. My new one is much more subtle and definitely a if you know, you know. Now, Tesla did mention within the release notes that the Rainbow Road has been updated to where like the accent lights will change colors with the Rainbow Road. However, there's been two other updates that they didn't mention. First up, and you may have noticed, my lights are this like weird like sand color, and that's because Mars mode now, if I head in here to lights, you'll see right here it has Mars mode active. And the only thing I can adjust is the brightness. Like I cannot change anything else. Same thing is also true with the Santa mode. If you come in here and you turn on Santa mode. Okay, now that the song that you still can't skip like 5 years later is done, yeah, you can see that the lights are flashing different colors. So red, white, and green. So not only was Rainbow Road updated, Mars mode was updated, and Santa Claus mode was updated. Now in the like other stuff that was changed, they did mention that you can now view your last 200 miles within the consumption tab, but a lot more was changed than just adding like a 200-mile option. In fact, there's no options anymore. There is no 5, 15, and 30. Now it's just the 200. There's also no more changing between instant range and average. Now it's just average right up here at the top. It also shows you how much more like watt hours per mile that you're consuming versus what your rated is, like, you know, for the EPA, which I actually think is really nice because a lot of people, they always try to like guesstimate what their rated one was. So now we can see right here that mine is 287.2. That's what my last 200 miles have been. So 287.2, and then you can minus 39.9. That means that my rated efficiency should be 247.3. Also, it will tell you how many kilowatt hours you've consumed over the last 200 hours. And yeah, I really like this. I'm kind of sad to see the instant range and the options to change them gone, but I think this is a pretty good change. If you're someone that limits explicit content within the options, it now, even though it doesn't say it, it now affects YouTube Music if you use that. Next is that charging icons have actually been updated. You can see here now that they are oval and they also have a symbol within them. They used to be circular with a number, which is how many available stalls there were. Now it has a lightning bolt to indicate that it is a charger with the number next to it. Third-party icons are indicated with a little plug icon, and will show you how many are available if whoever has the site set up is sharing that information. I don't think it's like Tesla where it actually will give you like a live update if there are cars there and how many are available after that. I think this is just an overall like how many they got, but nonetheless, it'll still show you. When viewing dash cam or Sentry clips within the car, you now have the option to adjust the playback speed, either 0.5, regular speed, or 2x. Now, something that I've personally complained about a lot is the dome lights in the new Model 3 are extremely bright, like significantly brighter than my last Model 3. And it looks like that I'm not the only one that has complained about this, as Tesla has adjusted the brightness when the dome lights are set to auto. They're about half as bright compared to if you had them on the on setting. And finally, if you do have low tire pressure and the little icon pops up, tapping it will automatically bring up your tire pressure card down here at the bottom. But yeah, that's everything that's new with the 2024 Tesla holiday update. As far as I'm aware, most cars should be getting this as long as the car is relatively new. Like honestly, I think Intel people are still getting all these features, or at least most of these features. You all can let me know. Like I said though, if you do have a hardware 3 car, then you won't be getting FSD 13, at least not right now. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you are new around here and you want to see more Tesla related stuff in your YouTube feed, then feel free to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one.